Okay, let's try something. I propose a speed run on how fast we can build a model kit. So recently I just got the Blitz Gundam right here, and we actually got it on a discount for 15 bucks. Mainly I want to get the Blitz Gundam is for the shoulders, but I guess I want to try something new, and then we're going to see how fast we can finish a high grade model kit from start to finish. So this is something new. Usually I do not rush through my projects, but we can definitely have something we can do. Hold on, I should probably plan this ahead. I just need to gather my tools. Right, so what we are using, I'm also trying out the fixed camera focus. So we just want to focus on this mat, and I can just adjust the focus manually instead of a auto. So usually when I'm building model kits, I tend to like to sort the parts out into their respective areas. So example, I will have a box to sort out the head. I will cut out all the parts for the heads and separate down to the different portions: the head, torso, the legs, and the weapons. But today we are just going to cut them out straight from the runner, and then we see how fast we can complete. If I were to put effort, I actually can build quite relatively quickly. This is not my first rodeo. I have been building model kits for a long time, and usually I would say I take my time and I work usually after work. As in I work with model kits when I after work. So usually in the evening time, I will spend 1 and 2 hours on model kits. So that was how I usually do this. Today we are going to do everything in one sitting, and then let's see how fast we can go. So we have 2 sticker sheets here, and technically 1 sticker sheet and 1 decal. It's technically also sticker as well. So we are unlikely going to use that. And for a high grade, relatively simple. We only have 3 runners. Well, 4 if we were to count this, and then we have our PC parts. And Blitz Gundam does have a wire for the weaponry. So this is what we are going to do. We're just going to put everything up there, and then we're just going to open up the instruction manual, and then we're just going to work from there. So the tools that we'll be using, we already used the pen knife to cut the plastic cover. We will use a very simple single bladed nipple and an X-Acto knife for any of those runners that we might need to use. And then we have a toothbrush here to clean up some of the what do you call that, the knobs when we are cutting them away. Right, so without further ado, we are going to start right now, and the time is 4 minutes, and we're going to see how fast we can complete this. So we are looking at C9 and 10. That will be torso parts, and usually I also do employ the the 2 knit technique, but when cutting from runner, usually I have another nipple, which is the slightly thicker, because I do not want to damage my good nipple here. So usually I will have 2 separate nipples for different purposes. For the first cut, usually I will cut them out using the other nipple and further away from the runner. And after that, I will use this to be more precise and get closer to the edge. So that'll be 15 and 10. So they're right here. Apart from this, speed building challenge. I actually did a challenge before with no instruction. That one was for a entry level, I think Grandpa Gundam. That was a while back. I was trying to flex to one of my friends. He say, "Oh, this thing is easy. All right, if this is easy, why not you try building it without instruction manual?" And he say, "Challenge accepted," and we both did it. But I was the only one that got it through. Managed to build it. Yep. Without the instruction manual. Halfway he did give up. So there was a flex. That was challenging. It was something fun because during that period of time, I have been building a lot of model kits, and model kits has been coming relatively dull. So that challenge was kind of like, brings some life to it. That's not tedious. Not say example, when things get boring, you try to find something new to do, or perhaps improving your skills. The next step for me improving will be doing a lot more sanding, those finishing touches. Just the end product to be a bit more professional. That is the end goal for me. Hold on, let me just see lights and zoom as well. Should be a little bit sharper. So that for me is the next step, but it takes a lot of effort in order for me to do that, because I'm sure if you're active avid builder, you'll understand that sanding, painting can get a little bit tedious. Oh, wow. From you can actually tell that this model kit is actually quite cool. Not gonna lie. Yeah, you can actually tell the age of this model kit, of how the parts are not quite sitting in together. It's actually, yeah, real bad. It's if let's say I have the time, I'll be shaving off left and right to make sure the parts goes in smoothly. But we are in quick build mode, so we forgo some quality. I should keep in mind to be in frame. The parts here, it's not going in. There we go. Though recently I have been building, actually not recently, the last few builds I have model kits that I built recently, most of it is actually from Kotobukiya, Good Smile companies, and some other China Gerpla brand. And the qualities, definitely there's some difference in quality. Right, we are done with the first step. Now we move on to the second one. We continue to cut out all these parts as well. Yeah, so the qualities difference is quite prominent. Example from Bandai, the plastic definitely feels softer, so the cut does feel buttery, and the way the joints goes Um, it also feels very smooth, very soft, and certainly is something that I'm not used to. Whereas maybe we can shift the cameras right here so that we are in the midst of the actions. Because I did arrange table to be slightly further out. So yeah, right. We do have a C6 right here as well. Yeah, building things with speed definitely takes some getting used to. Usually I'm not in any rush, any form of rush. This time around we are doing things differently. Yeah, so the plastics does feel soft and buttery, and it doesn't take much effort to cut through. Therefore, I am relatively comfortable in using my good nipple to cut out all the runners. Yeah. To be honest, I only got back to building model kits just today. Alright, after a very long break. Alright. I think the last time I built any model kits was at least 3 months ago, because I was quite engrossed in Magic the Gathering card games, and it's only recently that I have been doing a lot of hiding out or hiding out some of my stuff. All the cards that I have, because they have been piling up everywhere. Right, it is everywhere. And so there was quite a period of time where I am not buying new cards, and I told myself to not buy new cards because the recent set was not particularly interesting for me. So we are talking about the Spider-Man set, we are talking about Age of Eternity, of those like. So Age of Eternity was the last one, or was there another one before that? I can't remember. Yeah, so there was Final Fantasy. No, Final Fantasy was before. Yeah, so there was a period of time I was telling myself, hey, I should not buy so many cards. So I kind of stopped for a while. I believe there's no directions to this, right? There is a slight directions to it, I believe. Let me just see which one sits. This one looks nicer. No, it's the other one. I am. So yeah. So recently I'm not been buying cards, and then now, Avatar, the new card is coming out, which are the Avatar the Last Airbender, and I am quite interested in that set. Hold on, the focus. I should probably use this to set focus. Yeah. So we should keep the focus right here. Looks like, yeah. Okay, good. Yeah. So the Avatar set actually is looking really good, and it kind of brought me back to it. So me clearing up all these cards, and then shortly after that, this is going to be tricky. Shortly after that, I'll be buying more cards, but not a lot. I'm not buying what do you call that, boosters pack, but just some of the scene cards. This is tricky, but I think to it. Yep. We can use the butt of the brush. I always use the butt of the brush to kind of snap the parts together. So it's handy. This is quite tricky, this portion. Right here. Wasting a lot of time. We are like 10 minutes in. Goodness. We are slow. We are washed, I tell you. Hold on, let me see how we do this. So this is like this. Like this. Yeah, like this. That's not quite sitting. Like this. There we go. So yeah, I'm starting to slow down on the Magic the Gathering side, and because I have a whole batch of new model kits that are pending for shipment, and because for this reason I require more space. I need the space, I need more space in order for those things to come in, because I'm running out of space. I have so many things that's in my backlog that I need to clear them. So that's why I am now building model kits, right? Because I need to clear those slots. And what more we can do to try to farm some content right here, so we can do that today. So we have A, and then we have A1 right here. I do have some pending work in progress. I am revisiting a old model kit, Zoid. Have you heard of Zoid? Zoid is having a resurgence recently. A lot of new Zoids model and advertisements for their products, which is awesome. Zoid is a very interesting product. So I am looking forward to see more of those coming. Revival we having. Zoids, and that's what I'm looking forward to. But I was building somewhat a relatively old model kit, relatively as in maybe you are talking about 1 or 2 years ago. They remastered Rattler. It's one of those flying dinosaur type Zoids, and that have a special sentimental value for me, because that is my first ever model kit. Alright, the one that got me into building Gunpla Plamo. Yeah, so that holds a very special value. So I am planning to put some effort in to that model kit. So that one is in my work in progress. As of today, I already cut off all the nipples. I have assembled the frame. Alright, we can, if you would call it, the frame, and then it's basically waiting for the day I will be doing sanding. Alright, and for me, when I do sanding, I love doing wet sanding. So whenever I do sanding, there is a pail. There'll be a basin, water basin in front of me, where I'll be soaking my parts, rinsing them. Yeah, So that way, because I'm doing it in a room setting, I don't want the dust to be going everywhere. So I use wet sanding as a way to reduce all this dust. Using the toothbrush again to push the parts in. Usually I don't, and for this we will use toothbrush again. Try to fit the parts in. Not really going in. Then we use table to just push it in. There we go. We have a nice snap, and now the head is in. So we are not going to paint this. Should we paint this? Should we paint this? And furthermore, this chin is moving around. Am I doing it right? Is it supposed to be that way? The chin is moving. Anyway, we're just going to continue. I could not care less on the quality because what we are. Oops, I go to the chin. Am I doing it right? Please, no. It's not seated correctly. Hold on. Let me just remove this. It's angled. Yeah. No wonder. It's no wonder. Come on. Damn it. Damn it. It's been a while, man. It's really been a while. I'm so rusty right now. As in, I probably can use some CA glue as well to fix the parts in and save me the trouble. That means I have to waste time in looking for them in my tool cabinets. It's interesting how the parts are not going in properly. Am I doing something wrong? Am I using the wrong part? No, it's not. Unless there's something else I'm missing. Oh, it's all according. Yeah. Weird. 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 Try it again. Yeah, it's not quite wanting to go in. Something is off here. That's where we need to use the X-Acto knife to shave off some of this. Something is off right here. Of course, the head is not going in. Ooh, hook myself. And we have a classic Arcanite song. Yeah, it doesn't want to sit in properly. So strange. I need to cut the whole part right here. This whole thing. Chop it off. man, this is such an old classic song. Who remember this Night song? That's like way back in the when we are still doing CC. Good song. Just slowly cutting this without. Oop. There we go. Plastics are flying everywhere, but we should be good. So this is a waste of time because we need to do some modding. Damn it! Why is this happening? There we go. This is so strange. Why is this going happening? It's weird, man. You know, the head is sitting all the way back. I'm not sure whether it's right or not. It definitely doesn't not look right, but I really doesn't care. Yeah, like I said, okay. So why I bought this kit is because I only want it for the shoulder, because the shoulder is used on. There you go. It's used on the Amatsu gold frame, X-ray gold frame. It's only used for that. So I only getting this kit for the shoulder armor because I was actually trying to convert parts of it with one another. So for the Amatsu Mina, a X-ray gold frame Gundam, whatever, there's so many titles to it. It have one arm. One of its arm is it's Blitz Gundam, and the other arm is your classic X-ray frame armor. So I need to basically buy this X-ray Blitz Gundam in order for me to acquire the shoulder armor, which I am building it right now. To kind of put it there. So that is a project I'm working on. Again, one of my multiple numbers of backlogs that I have, or rather, not really say backlog, but a pending work in progress. Right. So work in progress. Right now we have that Riddler that I mentioned, and then we have the this Amatsu Mina Astro Gundam, and then I have a Kotobukiya Megami device that I am also putting quite a fair bit of effort into, and it's just I do not have the motivation to go back to run it. So that one was sitting for 2 years now. Alright, that one is sitting in the box for 2 years. Not in the box, in the container. Right, in this kind of a compartment storage box. It's just sitting down there in the shelf for 2 years. Yeah, because that kit was released in 2022, 2023, and yep, so it's just sitting there. Lots of things changed, man, really, in these past few years, that my priority have shifted to more important stuff. My wife, my kids, my family. So all these hobbies that I have has been put to the side. But the only thing is, um, despite me not building, I have been buying a lot of model kits. So that's why we have these predicaments where we are trying to rush through the process for all these things. Life is interesting. There's so many things that is going on in exchange. You just have to adapt to it. What do you say? How do you feel? Life, when you have life that's going on, your priorities shift all the time. How do you handle them? Because sometimes things can get overwhelming, and perhaps makes you consider what things need to change and what things needs to go. Because when things happen, sometimes we require to make some changes in our life, which means sacrifices that you have to make. So especially when you do not have, example, when you are trying to add more things, you know that meme where you every day there's 24 hours, and or the amount of budgets you have, it's fixed, but you want to do something else, you have to remove something from that in order for you to fit in your new budget. So basically that it's life, right? Man, the old joints for all this, it's very simple. Like the new high grades actually perform much better. Actually have much better articulation compared to this junk. We just call it junk. It's not great. Alright. This kit, I believe, is quite dated, and you can really feel it. The quality, the articulation really makes you appreciate how much they have changed. Which is good. Let's see. This. Let's see. Now we need a E and pen. Yeah. So regarding about life priorities with my family in place, those I can't get rid of. So I need to get rid of other stuff. So one thing before why I've been building a lot of model kits is not building a lot of model kits, but been playing a lot of MTG is because I can play with my friend, yes, and trying as a way to bond with my wife, teaching her how to play Magic, though she's not that keen, but at least it's something else. But model kits, this is strictly for me, so there's not much benefit from this. Video games as well, I also been cutting down a lot on that because well, it's video game. But recently with the release of Silk Song, there is some bonding between me and wife because she is surprisingly good at platform. So we get to play the games together late at night, trying to be as quiet as possible so that we do not wake the kids up. But yeah, she first tried the grandmother suit, which was insane. Yeah, she did most of the boss fight. Right, we actually cleared the game once. That was a while ago, because she's just better at fighting the boss. Meanwhile, I was focusing on exploring. Yeah, so right now we are starting a new run. We're starting the True Soul. And True Soul is hard, man. I think I already have like 4 or 5 tries. Yeah, but yeah, so some of the things that need to go, because before I can focus a lot on my hobbies, or rather I have a lot of time for my hobbies, and it's always on the rotations between like play some video games. Once I'm bored with video games, I'm going to build some model kits. Once I'm bored with model kits, I'm going to build more decks. And once I'm bored of that, back to video games as well. But now I don't really have the time or the energy to really focus on a hobby. So I have to choose some of the things that I want to do. And after thinking for a while, the first one that I'm thinking of letting go, or rather now I'm trying to let go, it's video games. Right, video games is the one that I am slowing down, and perhaps even stop altogether, because video games, out of all the other hobbies, have the least impact in my life, or least benefit in my life, because you don't get a lot from playing video games. All right, so it's better that we put more our times into something else. This is interesting. The view. So video games is first to go, because if you were to compare to my other hobbies, which is MTG and Gunpla. Gunpla does train your motor skills, your fingers, mobility, your dexterity. And MTG does have some social aspect that we can play together with friends, family, and yeah, so there's more benefits that as compared to video games. So that is the first one that I'll be letting go. Video game, which is fairly ironic, or rather perhaps maybe a challenge, because I do have a YouTube channel that I am posting video games So well, you can say that we are going to slow down a lot on posting video game stuff. So recently, if you were around my channels, you do see me playing, doing more real life stuff. Though that too is a challenge because of trying to maintain a very private setting. So I do not really have a lot of opportunities where I am not where the children are not around, and I can focus on just being me myself. With video games, I actually if I really want, I can record without audio and then do a voiceover later. That would be options. Yeah, but yeah, so very simple. Look at that. It's a 90-degree bend, but only here for the shoulders. All right, everything else it's a bonus. Only here for the shoulders. Right, moving on. Are we still speeding up? No, or we're just going to resume our normal pace. So from the looks of things, I'm going to straight up just cut out all the parts that I know is for the torso and the waist. So I can just cut away all these parts immediately because I know they are there, right? You built so many model kits, you should be able to recognize some of the parts, yes. So I know all of this, and then the rest should be on the legs. Looks like it. We do have all this for the legs as well. We have this right here. This is C, right? Yeah, C. Yeah, those are the legs. So after this, upcoming stuff is probably I'll be posting. It's showcasing some of the Avatar Last Airbender stuff. I did pre-order some stuff, so once they arrive, I will probably do a live stream on that. And after that, the end of this month, there is a concert, the Arc Night concert that's happening in Singapore. So I already got the tickets and I will be attending. And I guess perhaps I might try to record some stuff, though I'm not going to record a lot of things because the event does state professional recording it's not allowed, so I will keep it to the minimum while trying to showcase some good stuff. But yeah, I'm excited for that. A live orchestra, it's not really a concert, orchestra, alright, for Arc Night. So I'm excited for that. It does feature some of the stuff. I think the music from the anime. Primarily from the anime. I imagine they were to play music from the game itself. That would be so dope. Playing the intro music for the game, or perhaps even playing some of those high octane CC music. Ooh, those would be. The black parts are really dark. I'm looking at the video. It's just, it doesn't really show very well on the recording, or rather the preview. This is what we can get. But I'm actually exploring the idea of using my DSLR camera to be a webcam, but it does require me to get more what do you call that, devices in order to convert the feed to use it as a webcam, and that thing costs quite a bit. And I am recently also been looking at my spending budget, and I realized I can no longer just willy-nilly spend. Right, it got us into some troubles, but it was somewhat resolved. But it's a good reminder that I am no longer a single man, and I am required to plan ahead, alright, and take care of my family. So that was a wake-up call, and I have been a little bit more cautious, alright, at how I spend. And also, yeah, and my wife is a great help, but she too, like me, it's on the more impulsive buyer type. Right, so we are both slightly impulsive in how we spend our money. So yeah, so both of us require some constantly reminding one another, try not to spend too much, we should start saving. Yeah, so there's that. Those challenges that we face, it got us into some trouble, some debt, but we managed to clear them. So mostly clear them. It's not a big issue. What the hell? There's my cut separator when I need it. Good thing I have nails. I haven't cut my fingernails yet. You bro. DCI. How do you feel about the camera focus? I don't think it's really doing that much of the work. But let's go back to autofocus and see whether does it improve. So at back end autofocus, it's just going to be bouncing back and forth a little bit. That was the main issue with why I thought of perhaps maybe change to manual focus, because the camera feed doesn't keep bouncing up and down, and also not focusing on the right thing. For example, right now, is it focusing on the parts or is it focusing on the back? Stuff like that. There we go. It's a harsh show. Harsh thing. Yeah. Have I mentioned that it's been a while since I last built model kit? Yeah, my finger is sore. Slightly sore. And recently, I also learned the term called Gerpla. So it's especially for those model kits that are primarily girls. All right, it's not mecha, so it's not Gundam, so it doesn't really count as what's that, Gunpla. And Plamo doesn't really quite suits it because it's such a broad term, plastic model. So girl plastic model is something that I learned and coined recently. So for future, I'm going to call all my model kits that features girls, like Megami device. I'm going to call it Gerbla. So now we are moving on to the lake, and which means we are almost done. And one of the best areas, or rather the most interesting areas to build for any model kits, especially those humanoids model kits, are usually the legs, because the legs have the most parts. Man, we are already out an hour in. We are not doing well in the speed department. I guess one thing it's because I am thinking about talking, because we are technically recording my build progress. That requires a fair bit of mental capacity, and I also need to think about the thinking but failing in the department of the focusing, positioning where I'm doing my work. So it's slowing me down. I believe all of this I needed. So I just want to cut off this. Look at that tall cut right there. All of this is for the lake. The lake is at the bottom of the sun. All these cuts start out really where I'm falling off. What am I missing? Missing this cut? Missing one more. So we are done with runner B. Runner A, there's nothing over here. Right. just do a quick snip, snip.
I just want to wake up.
Yeah, so I was just now talking with regards to upcoming plans. Yes, and then me too am also planning on going on holiday again. So, but that one won't be so soon. That one probably in a account in next year or so. That's also in the planning. Yeah, so need to save up, need to control my spending, need to be a bit more mindful because say in next year or two, Ifrit have to start going to school, and still, yeah. So and that it's going to be another big change, a start of a big change, because when Ifrit go to school in another year, Snow Son is going to go to school as well, and then now we are, and then our lives, I won't like, not really life cycle, life routine and priority will change. Because right now the kids, they are very happy at home, you know, it's easy to teach them, care for them. But once they go to school, they start making friends. We have to be more mindful of what kind of friends they have, what of the things they are exposed to, and those are just a headache. Because I am, despite being optimistic, I am also a realist, a pragmatist. So I'm quite pragmatic on what I see and the things that are going around the world is not ideal, or not the things that I want for my kids. And it's a mess, and it's just going to require a lot more attention to how I want to bring up my children. So that aspect of life, it's daunting. It's really, really scary. And it's something that I have to face. We have to face. It's not easy, me trying to raise good kids, but I hope that we can do what we can in order for them to have a good foundation. You know, there are so many things that we can't really control. So at most, the best you can do is to teach them how to deal with it, and to recently I also learned a word called inculcate, to inculcate them how to think for themselves, how to reason, inculcate a moral, have a morals, a good moral, So yeah, that's wow, it doesn't really. Now this is something challenging, which I'm going to use my secret weapon, my teeth, to force it in. It's got stuck, man. It's not easy. Some of this older model kit. I'm blaming all the age, man. I'm blaming it. I'm blaming it. It's definitely not me building things wrong. It's age of this key. It's just awful. Yeah, so to inculcate some values for my children so that they, when they grow up, regardless of what they face, they know how to deal with it and know what to avoid. Even though they might be curious and perhaps even, explore some of this oddity, but they'll know how to at least have self-control, learn what's right and what's wrong, probably come back to battery settings. Yep, the world is scary, it's full of predators, and just a mess. Therefore, keeping things private for me is such a big deal, because this is the only thing that, if they're away from the spotlights. And also another reason why part of me doesn't really want, or just thinking about all this YouTube stuff. Because initially my plans for YouTube is more of it's an experiment or something that I just want to try, but more and more I find it wanting to share parts of my hobby, and something that brings me joy. I want to share with people, like-minded people. But the downside of constantly sharing things, it just makes you more and more exposed. And it's a good thing that I'm not popular, so I'm not too worried. And I hope I'm not that popular, so I don't really need to think about all these things. But again, previously I did mention if these things are hindering part of my life and all, I would just stop it. I just quit. So say when we feel that perhaps this does pose somewhat of a danger for my kids, for my family, then I would just just stop. Alright, so we have our Blitz Gundam right here. Very nice. Very simple kit. And now we can move on to the weaponry. Yes. Also, I guess another topic that recently has been I'm busy or rather interested in, it's a Enfield. Enfield beta test 2. It's now recruiting, and sadly, at the time of recording, I am not in any not qualified, or rather, we did not win any beta test passes. All right, we just did that team mango stuff. My team did not win anything. Apparently, there's some controversy to it, that some group of people actually um managed to get hold of the script, and I'm not sure whether is it manipulating, or perhaps we added with forward details that they managed to implement and won the battle pass because they know how the program works. So that was what I heard from my Discord chat. So if that's the case, well, tough luck, I guess. Personally, I'm not that invested to be feeling indignant about such things. Then if we were to be able to test the game during beta, that'd be great, because that is very good content source of content. But the game is going to release eventually, and we are going to play it eventually, so it's not a big deal for me. But I'm real excited for Enfield, because there's so many things to do in Enfield, but at the same time it's not quite as overwhelming. I don't know how to explain that. Okay, let me try to explain this. Okay, so if you were to just look at Enfield by itself, it can be quite overwhelming, because we are talking about a game like Genshin Impact that started this whole open world exploration combat kind of style of gameplay. And then Enfield also goes into Satisfactory, if you're kind of like your factory simulations, production simulation kind of stuff. So you have exploration, you have your combat, you have your gacha, you have weapons upgrades, you have factory productions, possibly tower defense, not too sure about that. So there's a lot of things for you to do, but during that live preview they did for the beta, that video, I think I also did post it. It has some automations to it. So example, if you are not really that into explorations, looking for hidden treasures, it does have the option to ping the treasures when you're in that area. So it kind of remove the hassle for one who is not that into exploration. And then for the factory, for the production portion, they also included the blueprint. So if you are not really into, you know, designing or min maxing your base, you can just, you know, get a blueprint from other people, and then it will just build it. You just place it now, so you don't have to build or design anything. So if you're not into factory building, that aspect of the game is automated for you. So in a way, you can kind of choose what you want to focus on when you're playing Enfield. So I really like the idea of that. But one thing I also wish, perhaps, if the dev never show it, but hopefully maybe they are already developing it to even automate the combat as well. So imagine you just go into combat, and then of course it doesn't really give you the optimum, you know, micro stuff, but you know, at least it's somewhat auto. You can just let it run. If your team is strong enough, it should auto. That's how I feel. So hopefully they also automate the combat features as well. So we'll see. But overall, Enfield, I have my doubts, but the recent preview does make it more enticing. Right. So now we are at the feature stuff. We do have a sticker right here, which I'm not going to use. How do you go in? This to go into, but before that we do have other parts as well. We do have a scope, which is right this portion. It does kind of go. Every pair of wings are clipped was all just for the thrill of it. The thrill of watching them go down. Scope as well. But the taste of my own medicine got me thinking clearly now. It's telling me to right my wrongs. Yes, I think everything I touched falls to pieces. You still think I refuse to hear the voice of reason. And you can kind of position this so that they are roughly the same length, which is what they recommend. This and the PCB as well. One, two, three. Right. You like We'll lost that part. Drop off into the abyss of the cable abyss. Though I do have a trick on fighting parts, still take some effort, but not the end of the world. It does drop. Okay, making the quick. Right. So we can assemble them right here. The other one will go right here. Have to angle it slightly. So you right here. Yeah, and then we have some of these clampy things here, and then you just insert the wire here, and that's kind of it. That. Alright, there we go. We have completed Blitz Gundam, and it took us an hour and 10 minutes. Yikes. Right. What is this? Let's just fall. For to join. Well, so yeah, so yeah, I'm looking forward. Okay, so with that we conclude our expeditions in trying to build a high grade Gundam in one sitting, and we successfully do so in a little bit of over an hour. So with that, we will conclude today's live stream, as definitely we're not looking at the quality because we are mainly looking for the shoulder part in order for me to keep bash on something. I buy this kit just for the shoulder. Want to emphasize that. And the remaining runners, there's nothing much in here, so those will go to the recycling bin, and we will keep some of the some extra PC parts that we can use for perhaps other stuff. Right, so thank you for joining. If you like to see more of such content, you can leave a like and a comment. And if we have, I don't know, 25 likes, I do something else, you can let me know. Right, so with that, we'll conclude today's live stream. Not live stream today. This video. So leave a like, leave a comment, subscribe if you like the content, and see you next time. Goodbye.
夢追いかけて傷が残る涙の川希望の星この道選んだ俺たちの物語